Which is better for fat loss, AM or PM workouts? I've been asked this question so many times, and I know depending on what you've read, you may have heard that if you want to lose belly fat, work out in the mornings. If you want to lose belly fat, work out at night. Here's the answer. Fat does not know or care about the difference. Fat does not know or care about the time of day that you work out. The time of day that you work out to burn fat, build muscles, to do whatever, should be the time a day that is conducive to your schedule and your lifestyle, the one that you can commit to on a consistency basis, whether it is early mornings, late mornings, mid mornings, late afternoons, whatever time it is. Now, a few things to take into consideration. Pay attention to how your body feels when you work out late in the evening. Like if you work out after 3, pay attention to how you sleep. If you find that, when you go to bed at like 10, 11, 12 o'clock, you're not sleeping straight through the night, you're waking up early, like around 3, 4 a.m., you may want to switch that, because what could be happening is when you work out, you raise your cortisol level, which is your stress hormone. Nothing's wrong with your stress hormone being raised. The problem is when it stays elevated. So in the evenings, technically, if your hormones are balanced, cortisol should be coming down so melatonin can go up so you can go to sleep. So if you're working out, I've had clients, who work out at 7 o'clock and they go to bed at 11 and they sleep right till 7 the next morning. That's fine. But if you find that you're working out like 7 p.m., 6 p.m., and you're not sleeping through the night, try slowly moving your workout time, because if your cortisol level stays high, it's going to tell your body to store fat wherever, especially in the midsection, as opposed to burning it. Now, you want to work out the time of day that you have more energy, where you can actually lift heavier. You will not look like a man. I know for myself, that is early morning. I have clients where it could be like 11 a.m. They have more energy. So just choose the time that is conducive to you, your schedule, and your lifestyle, something that you can stick with. Why don't I feel full after my meals? So this is another question I receive. And one of the reasons you may not be feeling full after your meals could be a few things. It could be, one, your meals were not balanced. So if your meals aren't balanced, if you don't have the proper amount of healthy carbs, lean protein, and healthy fat, you're going to feel peckish, kind of hungryish, kind of like you want something else after your meals. It could also be your palate is bored of what you're eating. So if you're eating the same thing day in and day out, your palate becomes bored of it and it's no longer excited. So then it's kind of like you're full, but you're still kind of wanting more. So variety is important. That's why it's important. You've always heard eat the rainbow. That's part of the reasons. Another reason could be lack of sleep. You're not getting enough sleep. If you're not getting enough sleep, what's going to happen is the hormone that tells your body it's full and the one that tells it it's hungry, it's going to go out of balance. The hormone that tells your body it's full is going to be turned off, and the one that tells your body it's hungry is going to be high. So because of that, then you could still have something to eat and still feel hungry after. How long does it take to lose belly fat? This is one of those questions that is very hard to answer because everyone's body is different. But what I normally suggest and guide my clients in doing, instead of focusing on how long it's going to take, I say how long, and you ever watch the movie where it's, how are we there yet? Are we there yet? If you've ever traveled with children, this is something you may have heard. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? What I suggest is instead of focusing on how long it's going to take to get rid of fat from the belly, because that's what you ask about, focus on the things that you need to do daily to get there. Because I find when we start focusing on how long, we lose sight of what we should be doing. Then we start stressing that we're not there yet. We haven't lost the 5 inches yet. We haven't lost the belly fat yet. And stressing isn't going to make it happen faster. So, what I suggest is, of course, you have your systems in play because you watched the video of how to make atomic habits. And if you didn't watch it, I'm going to make sure I link it. Is to develop the system and the things that you got to do on a regular basis, on the habits you got to do daily, weekly, monthly to get there. And I promise you, when you start focusing on what you should be doing as opposed to how long before I get there, you probably lose the belly fat faster than you even realize. Now, to specifically answer your question, it depends on how much fat you're looking to lose from around your stomach. And you got to make sure you're managing your stress. You got to make sure you're getting good quality sleep on a regular basis. You got to make sure that you are getting enough protein. You got to make sure you're drinking enough water. You got to make sure you're hitting the weights, not just cardio. There's so many things that you got to be doing on a regular basis, which are things that I teach my clients. So definitely click the link below to get one of the programs and that you need to do on a regular basis. If you do these things consistently, you can start seeing some sort of improvement in 4 to 6 weeks. Once again, it depends on the amount of fat you want to lose and what you're consistent with. But I also want you to remember that you didn't gain the fat overnight. You didn't gain the fat in 2 weeks. It may have seemed that way, but I promise you that's not what happened. So be patient with yourself, all right? And I do want to do more Q&A. So if you have any questions, go ahead and drop them below and I'll definitely, if I have like 3 to 5, I'll definitely do another video. All right, don't forget to subscribe. I got programs down below and make sure you follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and of course, subscribe to my podcast. Everything is going to be down below.